Hello, mathematicians. My name is Stephanie, and I love solving math word problems. Today, we're going to read a word problem and then find a way to solve it. Check out the word problem. Moesha and her sister are at the park climbing up trees. Moesha climbs up 5 oak trees. Her sister climbs up 3 crabapple trees. They were just about to count all the trees they climbed when Jacob arrives at the park and wants to play too. So he climbs up 4 maple trees. How many trees did they climb up in total? So the question that needs an answer is, how many trees did they climb up in total? Can we answer that question? Of course we can. We have plenty of tools in our math toolbox to choose from. In my math toolbox, I like to keep a bunch of tools on hand so I can choose which one is best for the type of math I'm doing. In my toolbox, there's a bar model, some 10 frames, some counters, a hundreds chart, base 10 blocks, a place value mat, and an open number line, to name a few. Besides those tools, I like to keep some extra symbols just in case I ever need them for an equation, like the addition symbol and the subtraction symbol. Do you have some of the same stuff in your math toolbox? I'm sure you do. Make sure you keep them in a safe place. Now, let's get back to our word problem. Let's think about that story for a minute. Moesha, her sister, and Jacob must love climbing trees at the park. It seems like they decide to have some sort of contest to see how many trees they could climb or who can climb up the most. Oh, here comes my friend Splat. Splat is a robot. Do any of you speak robot? What's that, Splat? Oh, Splat wants to know if you know how we might figure out the total number of trees the kids are climbing at the park. Tell Splat that you are a mathematician with lots of math tools to choose from, and you can certainly answer this word problem. See, Splat, they can help. So, what should we do first? I heard someone say that first we should write an equation or number sentence that represents what's going on in the story. That's right. We need a number sentence to solve. Let's write that equation. Help me out, mathematicians. What kind of equation would it be? Let's think about this for a minute. Whisper to me what type of equation we should have. Ooh, I heard someone say that since we want to know the total number of trees that the kids climbed, a good way to figure out the total is to add the number of trees Moesha climbed, her sister climbed, and Jacob climbed. That's great thinking. Looks like we need an addition equation. What? Okay. All right. Okay, Splat. If you don't speak robot, I'll translate for you. Splat just told me that he wishes he could climb trees, but his robot parts aren't good for climbing. And then he asked how we're going to set up this addition equation. So, what should we do? I heard you say that if it's an addition equation, that means that we have to add or combine numbers and get a sum or total. In this case, we have to combine or add the number of trees climbed by Moesha, Moesha's sister, and Jacob. Moesha climbed 5 trees. Moesha's sister climbed 3 trees. And Jacob climbed 4 trees. Yes, I know, Splat. I know, they must eat their vegetables every day. So, we'll add those numbers together, and we call them addends. That's the word for a number getting added to another number. What's that? Oh, that's right. Our addends are 5 and 3 and 4. Splat says that now we need some symbols for the equation. And you mathematicians know what symbols we need in this equation. Tell me, mathematicians, what symbols do we need from our math toolbox? Great thinking. I heard you say that since we're going to find a sum or total, we need an addition symbol to show that we're adding amounts. Now that we have the equation that represents our story, 5 plus 3 plus 4. That's right. What other symbol do we need? Did you say an equal sign? You're right. An equal sign will show us that the addends joined together will have the same value as the sum. Now, what about the unknown number? What should we use for that? Oh, okay. You're right, a blank line will work just fine. Hey, I just made a rhyme. All right, now that we have our equation set up, what should we do? I heard you say model each of the addends with counters in 10 frames. Great idea. I love using counters in 10 frames to model numbers. I might not have enough counters. Splat, can we borrow some of your 10 frames and counters so we can model the addends in our addition equation? Hey, I like these counters, Splat, but we could have used any kind of counters to model the numbers, right? So next time I'm solving an addition equation and need to model my addends, if you're not around to borrow from, I could use anything, right? Okay, right. Just as long as we only put one counter in each square of the 10 frame. Got it. Okay, let's look at our 10 frames. Here's the 10 frame representing the amount of trees Moesha climbs. There are 5 counters in there, representing the number 5. Here's the 10 frame representing the amount of trees Moesha's sister climbs. There are 3 counters in there, representing the number 3. And here's the 10 frame representing the amount of trees Jacob climbs. There are 4 counters in there, representing the number 4. Great! We have all 3 addends modeled. Now, what should we do? Oh, you see that Moesha's 10 frame and Jacob's 10 frame together almost make a 10. That's right, they do. She has 5 and he has 4. If we move these counters to this 10 frame, then we have almost filled up one 10 frame. because 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. And 9 is only 1 away from 10. Good thinking. What did you say? I heard you say now move a counter from Moesha's sister's 10 frame to make a complete 10. Great idea to make a 10. I love filling up a 10 frame to show the number 10. And now, mathematicians, what happens next? I heard someone say we have one filled up 10 frame, which models the quantity of 10, and a 10 frame with 2 counters, modeling the quantity of 2. So we can quickly see that we have a 10 and 2 ones. And what number does that represent? Yes, you're right. I heard you say 12. 10 plus 2 equals 12. So we did it. We found the sum, or the total of the addends joined together. 5 plus 3 plus 4 equals 12. Altogether, Moesha, her sister, and Jacob climbed a total of 12 trees. That was such an efficient method to find the total. So let's look back at all we did today to solve the word problem. Moesha and her sister are at the park climbing up trees. Moesha climbs up 5 oak trees. Her sister climbs up 3 crabapple trees. Jacob gets to the park and wants to play too, so he climbs up 4 trees. How many trees did they climb up in total? First, we composed an equation that represented the word problem. That equation is 5 plus 3 plus 4 equals blank. Then we modeled our 3 addends using counters in 10 frames. When each addend was modeled, we moved counters to make a full 10 frame. Then we combined our 10 with what counters were left and had our total. That was a super efficient way to find the answer. Wow. Isn't solving math problems so much fun to do? Well, Splat has to get to his robot convention soon, and I said I'd give him a ride, so we both have to go for now. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.